Yep, got it. All right, last one, Michael. Plan to test add-ons and plugins to evaluate page speed. So we talked about this a little bit already, but
I love this. Everybody, yeah. So third-party plugins on any content management system open up a different reality for how search engines see your website. So when you talk to the sales rep and they say, "Oh, we're so excited about live chat and your customers being able to schedule an appointment with you," you haven't tested their code yet on your website.
yeah.
You are the person responsible for your website. You may want this booking software. You may want this billing software. You may want all sorts of cool new features on your website. But what you don't need to do is sign a 12 or 24-month contract with a third-party plugin without having a technical assessment and, if at all possible, a test period. And so we have had sites where the client came to us and said, "Hey, we've bought this appointment booking tool and we need you," or this highly prominent marketing automation platform whose name I won't mention right now. "And we need this form on the homepage." And so suddenly there's a form on the homepage that's pulling in from a different server.
Yeah.
And if that server is not serving that form fast enough, Google is going to punish the website, because you have elements of the page. In this case, it was a form above the fold. So it was content that was supposed to be right there above the fold. As soon as the page loads, somebody can see it, and it's hanging up, and it killed the rankings for that site. We had to take it off. We had to tell them, "Hey, I know you're paying a lot of money for this, but we're going to develop an alternative method, capture the data, create a custom script, and code the fields to push it into your database. But we're not going to use the tool that they provided to let us load that form to the page." And so this is really tough, because then you've got to kind of go through your SEO professional before you make decisions with third-party tools. It's worth it. It's worth doing it, because you're talking about potentially a major setback in your rankings for 6 months that can take 12 months to recover and get back from.
Yeah, because those plugin makers and those tool makers, they're not incentivized. They're not thinking about your website performance.
You would think that they would really, really care about that, but they don't always get it right. And you don't want to be the one
they look
learning.
at functionality first, and even if it's at the expense of your page speed and your SEO going down, like they're tunnel vision, as they probably should be, right, on the functionality of it.
Yeah, and the look and feel.
Yeah.
And what it's going to do for you, and the performance, that they might have. But, who knows? You could even have a conflict between their software and where you're hosted, or some other software on your site. If you're running some Java, if you've got two JavaScripts, running that conflict with each other, or kind of blocking up the page, you may be already maybe a little code heavy on the page, and this is like a tipping point. I'm not a technical person who would troubleshoot those things, but I know that we've had the experience a number of times of saying, "Why doesn't it just work?" And it doesn't. And so test before you buy.
Yeah. Good.
You take us out.
All right, great. Yeah, that's episode 72. Thanks so much for listening or watching. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the platforms where video and audio exist on the internet. Well, not all of them. We're not on MySpace. We need to start a MySpace.
We're going to get on MySpace.
All right, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.